Hello guys, you're welcome back. In today's tutorial there is this simple free dress I want to teach you guys. So let's go. This is my fabric. I'm using a Duchess fabric. This actually 3.5 yards. Then yeah, 3.5 yards folded into two equally. I think I was able to get 62 inches length. So just fold into two, both the front and the back. Place them on each other. We are cutting both the front and the back together. So definitely it's going to be a cut together with the shoulder. That is sleeve and shoulder together. So the sleeve is going to the length is going to get to the wrist. It's going to be a long sleeve together with the shoulder. So I have 26 here. From that midpoint, that center point, I have 26 there. So from this shoulder part, I'm going to mark 26 also. This is going to be the hip line. From shoulder, this is going to be the hip line. On that hip line, you take your hip measurement. It's going to be very free. I think the hip measurement here is 52 or so. We're making it 60. I'm making it 60. That is 15 divided by 415. Then on this round sleeve part, I'm marking 15 inches. I'm marking 15 inches because it's going to have a little pleating on that side. So you're going to connect this way from your hip. You're going to connect from your hip like this. So the neckline, depending on how deep you want it, but I'm using 9 inches here. I'm making use of 9 inches. Then on this part, you can decide to measure 3.5 or probably 4 inches. So you're just going to, it's going to come out in kind of a V shape. Though not really sharp, but in form of V shape. So the back, just come down with about 1 inch. Come down with about 1 inch. Then you're going to connect to that 3.5 inches here, just like this. So you're just going to cut. You're going to cut it out. You're going to trace out the marking part, then you cut. So I want us to see the down part as I'm dragging it. So on this hip line, I have 15. We had 15 inches there. You can decide to go down without 15 inches. Then you can still decide to add about 2 inches to make it 17. So that it will be more open a little bit at that down part. Even 15 inches is still okay. The person will be able to walk freely. Then the dress is going to be having an opening. It's going to have opening at the front part, so I make it 20. Depending on how open you want your hand, it can be 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 and above. So you're just going to cut. I'm going to give it this small shape instead of just opening straight. Instead of you to open it straight, you just give it small cutting, maybe like ½ inch. Then on this part, you are going to add your 1 inch allowance. you're going to add your 1 inch allowance to cut it out. The cutting is as simple as this. So all you need to do now is depending on whatever you might want to use to turn the neck, you might try to use cutting bias, but I think using the same fabric to cut facing will come out better, and it will be easy for you to turn the neck, because if you are going to use bias, it might not really give you that sharp curve on the neckline. So it's better as you use the same fabric to cut facing. So you're going to place like this. I'm going to place like that. I don't think cutting facing should be a problem for us. It's just a common thing that I believe most of us will know how to do. Yeah, if you like, you can gum these facing with paper gum or maybe ST, just to make it a bit firm. Then if you know it's going to be easy for you to sew, then there is no need to gum. Just place on it like this. Then with your 1/4 inch, you're going to sew round. Then you notch the middle part, turn the other way around and iron. Definitely you're going to weave the interface. That's that about that one. Then the same thing on the back. The same thing on the back. After folding into 2, you are going to place on that pieces you want to use for your as your interface. So like this, depending on how wide you want it. So this side I'm cutting now, you are going to weave it on the down part also. Then you are going to place from the good side of the fabric. From the good side of the fabric, you are going to sew with your 1/4 inch. Then you turn in, then you iron very well. So that's that about the turning. Then the front part, the down part is having little opening there. So the same way you are going to place. Since we didn't just cut it straight, we shape it a little bit to have this small curve down there. It's not just straight. You can still decide to just open it straight depending on your choice. So you are going to cut out the same way you cut the neck facing. So this is it. You're going to take your machine, take it to weaving machine, and you weave it round. You're going to weave it round. Place on it. Place on it. Then just like the way you turn the necklines, that is the way you're going to turn this down part too. So after when you turn inside, you can see the shape. It's not just straight. It's not a straight cut. So after placing on it like this, with your 1/4 inch, you are going to sew round, weave the side, notch the center part, the deep part, that sharp edge. So when you turn it inside, you iron very well. Then you use your hemming gum. You use your hemming gum underneath to tag it down. You're not going to sew it so that the threading will not be showing outside. So the sleeve area is going to have band. It's going to have band about 5 inches long. It's going to have a band of about 5 inches long. This is the round sleeve. I'm using 7, which is 14. Then the length of the band should be around. Here I'm using 5 inches. using 5 inches. You can decide to use 4, 3 or 2 depending on your choice. So this is the band. So I'm just going to show us how we are going to pleat on the band. Every other thing I think is self-explanatory, something you can just take your machine and you know what to do. So this is the wideness 14. So this is it after turning the neck, both the front and the back, and I've already joined the shoulder together. This is also the down part I've already turned, and this is the shoulder part. So after joining the shoulder, you are going to, the round sleeve is going to be very, very wide. So that is why we have this band here, this 14 inches band here. So you're just going to place, it's either you run gathers or pleating, whichever one that is easy for you. So you're just going to pleat like this. I'm going to pleat like this and sew it all through. That is the same thing you are going to do on the other sleeve. That is on the other side. So after that, take to weaving machine. This is what it looks like. Take to weaving machine. You weave it, bolt the shoulder and this round part. Take your round sleeve measurement here, then you are going to sew just with 1/2 inch. So after weaving, this is it. Take your round sleeve measurement, then you are going to sew with about 1 inch like this. You're going to sew it all through. Just notch this cuff area. Any place you have bending, you are going to notch so that by the time you iron, it's going to lap very well. Then our dress is ready. So hem the down part, and that is the end.